Hey guys, what's up? It's Uncle Zunky, and welcome to another episode of the Washington Wizards season. And today we're going to be going up against the Charlotte Hornets, who have the second best record in the Eastern Conference, and they're also the consensus pick to win this game. I took offense to that, so we are going to play them and hopefully win. Their starting lineup doesn't look too much different in real life, other than they lost Al Jefferson, which is probably going to be a pretty big loss because he was kind of their biggest point scorer. But they also added two really nice pieces off the bench in Wilson Chandler and Wesley Matthews. Two really good guys who arguably might be not much of a downgrade from their starters when their starters go to the bench. And that's going to be a nice small forward and shooting guard tandem for them. Lots of bench scoring. I think the only place where they're really weak is the bigs, because Cody Zeller is not a great center. I would say he's probably about NBA average, even though he has progressed a little bit in this MyGm, so he's a little bit better than he is in real life. But starting off the game, they're going to Noah Vonleh, who is a rookie in real life and has not been getting a whole lot of minutes, but looks promising just because he's big with a lot of athleticism, and he gets the first points of the game to start us off on this evening. So the Wizards are coming in here with something to prove, trying to show we are one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. We come in with a 14-10 record as Bradley Beal cuts the rim and gets a nice slam to start us off with our daily scoring. And we are, of course, going up in Charlotte here against the second best team in the Eastern Conference, and the Cleveland Cavaliers naturally are the best, since they should be the best team on paper in this game anyway, although it would be a little bit different if I created this association after some of the roster updates came out, and Tyreke Evans cut into the rim, and he was able to score a lot, even with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, one of the better perimeter defenders in the NBA, guarding him. Tyreke Evans was still able to have his way on the offensive end and just cut to the rim at will, and he has been amazing scoring ever since I got used to playing with him. As Kemba Walker is left open for a three and he drains it, it looks like he might have worked on his shooting a little bit in the offseason, because that's one part of Kemba's game that he really needed to work on, was just his three-point shooting, as Lance Stevenson hits a three as well. So the main thing that the Hornets needed as a team to be successful was just some shooters, and it looks like they added that with Kemba getting better, Lance Stevenson getting better, the nice lob to Tyreke Evans, although unfortunately he finishes with the weak layup finish and not the ferocious dunk, which I was really hoping for, as well as adding Wesley Matthews and Wilson Chandler just gives you so much shooting on this team, as Noah Vonleh finishes ferociously with the hammer. And that is really exactly what this team needed, and I can see why on paper this team would really be quite successful. They still are a pretty young team. Kemba's young. Tyreke Evans is also young as he's finishing at the rim. And I am kind of surprised how young Tyreke Evans was when I picked him up off the offseason. He's only like 25 or 26 years old, so he still has a ways to develop before he starts to decline, which unfortunately happens to every player in 2K once they reach around age 30. Wilson Chandler is coming off the bench now, and he finishes at the rim. He's starting to decline a little bit because he's getting up there in age, but still a very, very nice piece off the bench, and he's going to be helpful. And our bench is in the game, which means CJ Watson is in the game, and he's firing. He hits a three, well contested there by the Hornets, but he still gets it to go. CJ Watson is our instant offense off the bench, but not only is he offense, he can also pass too. He's also a decent defender for his size. He's pretty small, so he's never going to be great, but Tyreke Evans, just too much size, too much strength, pushing himself to the rim and just forcing that one in over the heavy contact by Wilson Chandler. I was really surprised that one went in, but Tyreke Evans is just an amazing finisher, and it is so incredible having him on the team. And CJ Watson cutting to the rim, this guy is so smart, and he finishes at the rim with the easy layup, uncontested because the defense just fell asleep on that one, and Garrett Temple is firing a three coming off the screen. He hits that one, and we're on a big run. We're up by 5 at this point, but the Hornets are trying to close the gap going into the second quarter, but I'm running in the break after the block. Tyreke Evans with the half spin and then just comes back and lays the ball right in. That was beautiful. Caught the Hornets off guard. 13 seconds left in the first quarter, and we are looking to go into the second with a nice lead here, but Wesley Matthews trying to answer, and he manages to hit a three over the outstretched arms of Garrett Temple. So we head into the second quarter now. We're up 29-25. We still got our bench in the game. Donatas Motiejunas is cutting to the rim, and he's just going to finish over 2 Hornets defenders. I was really impressed with that. Unfortunately, again, I really can't shoot with Donatas Motiejunas. He is more of a jump shooter than he is anything else. His shot release is just a little bit too difficult to handle. As Lance Stevenson cutting to the rim, and he slams it, keeping the game close. That was just a beautiful take to the rim by him, and not really a whole lot that I could do about that one. And then Stevenson is ISOing again with the ball, but Kemba Walker and Stevenson, nice tag team in the backcourt. That's a really impressive matchup they got there, and Kemba Walker's moves are just too much for John Wall as he falls asleep on defense. And so far, Kemba Walker has really been outplaying John Wall, even though John Wall is, in my opinion, at least the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. Kemba Walker is trying to make a name for himself here and prove himself against one of the fiercest competition that he has in terms of individual matchups, as Bradley Beal hits a difficult fadeaway three there. Very impressive shot coming off of the curl. And we're up by 3 at this point. Tie game. Tyreke Evans, I'm going to him continuously, even against this strong defender on him. Tyreke Evans is fading, and he manages to get that one to go deep in the lane. The Hornets had to call timeout to regather themselves after that one, and once again I am just handing the ball off to Tyreke Evans and letting him go to work. That's what you got to do sometimes, especially in this game when John Wall was really having an off night and Bradley Beal was not in the game at times. I just had to go to Tyreke Evans, and he's finishing again off of Wilson Chandler, who had bad defensive position in the lane, and just let Tyreke Evans seal him off and cut to the rim, which he was doing again and again. He just goes to the rim with ferocity, and Lance Stephenson is given a window of space, and he manages to knock down the three. The Hornets are keeping it close, and Lance Stephenson is starting to heat up, which is a little bit worrying. He's a streaky shooter, and he can start to knock those down after he gets a few to go. And I have the rookie here, Joey Bradshaw, taking advantage of Kemba Walker on him, and he's going to finish. Every single time you got a 6-foot guy on you when you're 6'10", that's probably one of your best shots that you have available to you. Once again, Joey Bradshaw was open. I did not see him. I should have passed the ball down, but CJ Watson is just going to pull up for 3, and he splashes it. And we are really doing so well with our bench in the game, arguably playing better than the starters have been at this point. But after the steal, PJ Hairston, the rookie, manages to hit the easy pull-up jumper in transition. We go into halftime with a 1-point lead over the Hornets, 51-50. So far looking really good. There's been a lot of free throw shot in this game. I typically don't show a lot of free throws, but a ton of fouls have been called. Extremely physical game going on. I love to see that. And we're opening up the second half with John Wall in the backcourt and Bradley Beal just taking it to the rim. He's been relatively quiet the entire game so far, other than a couple three-pointers that he hit in that first half. So I'm looking for him to kind of make a statement in offense. And I would like John Wall to as well, but John Wall has been really quiet all game, and weak defense by Bradley Beal, just letting Lance Stephenson go right to the rim. I'm not sure what that was all about. I know Lance Stephenson is a strong dude for a shooting guard, but still, that was soft. Joey Bradshaw not being soft. He's just going to cut to the rim, explode off 2 feet, and dunk it with 2 hands over Cody Zeller. So Wesley Matthews missing here, and Noah Vonleh is able to get the rebound. He is really active on those boards, and it was really tough for Donatas Motiejunas to out-rebound him just because Noah Vonleh had such a humongous advantage athletically. And once again, Kemba Walker left open for 3, and he's not the greatest three-point shooter, but if you leave him open, he will punish you. I was not really entirely sure what I was doing defensively there. Not sure what I was trying to accomplish, just sagging off Kemba so much. Probably was not a good idea, but John Wall is wide open in the corner, and he finally gets one to go. John Wall has been ice cold all game. He's only shooting 2 for 7 at this point, and that's only his second bucket of the game, but it is a three-pointer. It does come in an opportune time. We nearly turn the ball over there with Beal, and Beal just lets it go as the shot clock is winding down, and it manages to drop. He's having one of those times in the third quarter being extremely hot, but he is going to brick this three-pointer off of the fast break in the corner. That's normally his shot. He's normally wet from that spot, and Gerald Henderson is going to take advantage and dunk in transition. And the Hornets have clawed it back after we took a nice 8-point lead. The Hornets have gotten right back into it, but going into the fourth quarter, I want to go in with a lead, so CJ Watson is going to hit the 3. He just manages to get the friendly shooter's roll there, and we're once again running in transition. We seem to be getting a lot of these, and CJ Watson's feeling confident. He just pulls up and hits the 2. For most players, it's probably a bad shot, but when CJ Watson has it going, he really does have it going. So PJ Hairston, who's running the backup point for the Hornets, I'm not sure if they just didn't have an actual backup point guard, or if he was hurt, or if he was still Gennaro Pargo or someone like that, and they'd just rather not play him. But I'm going to be cheesing in transition, just pass it up to Marcus Johnson, who's running the floor, and when a big runs the floor that hard, you have to reward him. Beautiful lead pass, not to be underrated there. That was quite difficult for CJ Watson to thread the needle on top of the Hornets defenders and get that right into the outstretched arms of Marcus Johnson, and CJ Watson is just killing fools at this point. He manages to finish over 2 Hornets defenders. Both of them were bigger than he was. I'm not quite sure how he got that one to go, and Beal was not defended as he cut to the rim and just manages to slam it. Gerald Henderson was too slow on picking up the ball, and Beal takes advantage. So we're going into the fourth with a 10-point lead here. Looking strong at the moment, but things can swiftly change, especially when you're playing the Hornets bench with so much explosive scoring. Wilson Chandler finishes quite easily over some pretty shoddy defense there, and then Lance Stephenson has the ball. He's on the court all by himself on one side. I'm a little bit afraid of that when that happens. Lance is really the main perimeter threat with Wesley Matthews back on the bench, and he's going to hit the 3, well contested by Tyreke Evans, but really not a whole lot you can do about that shot. If it's going for him. And once again, the Hornets were running some small ball with Wilson Chandler. I was hoping to take advantage of that, as Kemba Walker just takes advantage of some bad defense played by John Wall, or should I say me. John Wall makes up for it on the next possession, though, with the slam. The lane was wide open, and when John Wall is handling the ball, that is the last thing that you want to do defensively, because he will absolutely just attack the lane with ferocity. He always does. Tyreke Evans also attacks the lane. He's spinning, and he's cutting the basket, and he is laying it in. That was a very impressive finish by him. I'm trying to use some of these spin moves. They look kind of dumb if you do them too close to the basket. Difficult shot here by Lance. I'm not sure how that got in. He angled that perfectly from behind the backboard and just manages to get that one to roll in. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is attempting to spin as well. He gets fouled for the and one, and Bradley Beal fouls out of the game. The first time that someone has fouled out on my team so far this season, at least when I have been playing the games myself. So that's what I said earlier. There's just a ton of fouls called in this game and a ton of free throws. You'll be sure to see that at the end when the game stats come in. So Tyreke Evans, it's time for him to take over since John Wall has been cold all day. CJ Watson is running transition. He finishes. Very impressive with the lay in there, even with the severe height disadvantage that he has sometimes when he's running the 2-guard spot. And John Wall is running in transition as well. He gets fouled, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist gets fouled out. So he was the one who got Bradley Beal fouled out, and then we return the favor. MKG is fouled out as well, although that's not as big of a loss for the Charlotte Hornets as it was for us, because MKG does not do a whole lot offensively, and that was definitely the case in this game. Lance Stephenson is just dunking. Tyreke Evans tried to go up to block the shot. He just completely whiffed, though. Lance Stephenson is starting to go into takeover mode. He's fading out of the post, and he hits it. This guy has just been unstoppable, and no one is able to guard him. I got Garrett Temple on him at the moment. I tried Tyreke Evans on him. I tried Bradley Beal on him. Nothing is working. Tyreke Evans, though, is running in transition. He hits the 2. You don't see a lot of jumpers from him, especially not in this game. It was all attacking the rim, but every once in a while, when he's left open, he can sometimes hit them. Joey Bradshaw, he once again proving that he is going to be a major part of this team for the future. He's finishing as well, and we're starting to build a nice lead for ourselves, and we're running transition here. And Tyreke Evans, no one comes out to close on him, so I thought, why not? He hits the 3, and when Tyreke is hitting threes, you know things are really going well. I think I have the game well in hand here, but Wesley Matthews has other ideas. Him and Kemba are running the nice 2-man game here, and Kemba hits the 3-pointer. So they're only down by 5, 112 to 107. Hornets ball once again, and they're going to need some threes to get back in this game. And Wesley Matthews is happy to provide that. He hits one from the corner, and all of a sudden it's a close game. I thought I had a nice lead, and all I have to do here is inbound the ball and hit some free throws, and Marcin Gortat just throws it away, and it's Hornets ball. I have no idea what he was doing. That was the most easy pass in the world, and he just sails it over John Wall. The Charlotte Hornets hit 2 free throws, and it's tied up at 112. Showing the full final play here, what I decided to do. Of course, I'm going to John Wall. I realized that Tyreke Evans was the hot hand all day long. He was our main scorer, but John Wall is still the superstar, so we're going to be going for him, asking him to win this game for us. John Wall versus Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker has been on top the entire game. John Wall, though, just gets fouled, just forces himself to the rim, and he manages to miss the first free throw, but he does hit the second. And once again, the Charlotte Hornets have no timeouts left, so what are they going to do? John Wall finally hits the second free throw. I was a little bit worried after he misses that first one. So 1.7 seconds left with no timeouts. There's not a whole lot you can do there. Just huck one up at the rim. It does not fall. And that is the second game-winning free throw so far of this MyGm. Pretty shocking. We haven't had a game-winning shot yet, but 2 game-winning free throws. And looking at the stats here, Lance Stephenson tried his best to win his team the game, but very balanced scoring overall. Lance Stephenson had 25. Wesley Matthews had 24 coming off the bench. That's such a nice piece off the bench to have. Probably their 6-man, definitely a 6-man of the year candidate. And Kemba Walker with 24 points and 11 assists. Very nice to see that. Trevor Ariza was unfortunately out with an injury, so that really hurt with him not coming off the bench, and Garrett Temple was getting his minutes. And Donatas Motiejunas played a lot, and Joey Bradshaw and CJ Watson were very nice contributors as well. 17 points for CJ Watson coming off the bench, and 37 points for Tyreke Evans. He was the main man, and he won the player of the game as well, of course, with that point total. How could you not? So looking at the final stats here, this is all that you really need to go. Of course, a lot of fouls were called, 42 free throws on our end and 32 free throws on their end. A little bit uneven, but overall, both of us were attacking the rim a lot. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Farewell.